Hey guys, so I just want to say thank you first for all the support, all the just everything that you guys have shown and given me over the past few days. And I'm very excited. I'm very grateful. I can't even express how I'm feeling right now because I feel the feeling is overwhelming right now. But today we're going to talk about a new subject. Today we're going to talk about mental health. Yeah, we're going to get into that a little bit. So yeah. I am going to first give you some background on what I think mental health is. What mental health means to me, I feel like mental health is like one phrase. Well, it's not really a phrase, but it's not really a word because it's two words. Well, okay, so I feel like mental health is two words that describe so many things that goes on. So mental health consists of anxiety, depression, eating disorders, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, um, and other things. So mental health contains all that, and it goes on every day of everyone's lives. So basically, what I want to talk about is mental health is something that people thought back in the day, like what I read, because obviously I wasn't born then, but mental health was something that people thought if you had a mental illness that you were crazy or a psycho, or back in the day when they had witch trials and things like that, they thought you were crazy if you had a mental illness, if you didn't seem as normal, but in reality, everyone may or may not, or a big population may have experienced a mental illness. So, what I want to talk about is why I decided to talk about mental health and why is it important to me. Mental health is important to me because I went through a tough time with a lot of mental illnesses, which I will describe in the storytime video that I'm going to do that comes after this video. But I have struggled for years with mental illnesses. Um, give I'll just tell you. So have anxiety, depression. I showed early signs of PTSD. Um, I had an eating disorder before. I've went through so much in my life for a couple of years now, and I didn't even know I had any of this until recently, maybe 2020, like the end of 2020 and 2021. I understood what was going on with me and why it was happening to me, and I started seeing a therapist. Well, I had a therapist for a while now, but I've never opened up to my therapist before. So I have a new therapist, and yeah, I'm not gonna get into that, but um, basically, I went through a very tough time with my mental health. I'm gonna tell you in this video and in story time, but there were some times where I think I was around 12, somewhere around that age where I wanted to. Well, it was in 2017 where I had a suicidal thought and a suicide attempt, and no one knew about that. And around that time, it may seem like I was just happy, but really I was going through it. And then I had another suicide um, thought and attempt back in 2019. I think I had one in like 2020. I don't know. I can't remember vividly, but I know for sure 2017 and 2019, those are for sure. But basically, I went through, like I said, a tough time, and it was very hard for me because I thought I was the only one going through this. I feel like I was alone. There were times where I was alone, where I had friends, where I had to distance myself from friends, and in a lot of friendships, a lot of relationships, everything, and I was so alone, and I felt scared. I was scared of everything. I thought I would never be able to get help. I thought, just bad thoughts, and it really brought me down to my lowest point in my life where I wanted to end my own life. That's just how it was. I had some, back in 2020, I had some major intrusive thoughts. If you want to look up what intrusive thoughts are, you're free to do that. But I'm going to say, I had an intrusive thought one day. It was me, my mom, and my brother. It was at nighttime. We were driving home, and I was just looking out the window, listening to music, and I had an intrusive thought. It was like, jump out the car. Like, it may seem like it may be funny to some people. I get it. I mean, hey. But, like, this is serious. Like, my intrusive thought, it was like, jump out the car. Like, literally, out of nowhere, it was just, jump out the car. Why? I don't know. And I had a lot of more intrusive thoughts that year, but yeah, I went through a lot, and I feel like I am a big advocate for mental health. I will always be a big advocate for mental health because it means so much to me. There are people in the world that are going through what I went through in the past, maybe suicidal thoughts, maybe suicidal attempts, maybe depression, anxiety, PTSD, or whatever. I know there are so many people going through that right now, and I know it's stressful. And it's not just teenagers, it's adults, it's younger kids, it's everyone going through this. And which brings me to my next subject to talk about what's going on with teenagers nowadays. I've done a little bit of research, but I've heard like a lot of people say this, that a 14-year-old teenager has the same anxiety and depression as a 40-year-old back in like the 1900s. Like, and that shows a lot. That tells a lot. That shows a lot. Like, wow. I've seen for myself on TikTok, on social media platforms. I feel like maybe I've seen someone talk about it in person before. Like, children nowadays, it's not even just teenagers. Like, children, teenagers, adults, but teenagers and children, I feel like they have it worse nowadays. I don't know why, but everything is like, wow. It's just a lot going on with so many people, and so many things are happening, and it's scary out here because, like, I know from my experience, like, I was afraid to ask for help. I was afraid to get help. And just imagine how many kids are suffering right now because they're scared to get help. They don't know what to do. They're lost. These kids are, they come in all ages. Like, it blows my mind. Like, it blows my mind. Everyone is just suffering and in so much pain, and that's why I want to talk about mental health. And that's why I'm an advocate for mental health, because it means so much to me, and it's so important to talk about. It's so important to spread awareness because, like I said, from my tough times, and it's not just, if I have a therapist, my mental health, like my bad mental health is gone. No, it's like, I'm gonna speak for myself. I feel like I have a lot to work on. Like I said before, I went through years of mental illnesses and not even knowing. So just by me starting this year on working on myself, like, I've been working on myself, I'm in a better place, but it's like, I still have, some signs of PTSD. But, having years of all that versus starting now, it's gonna take me, a longer time. I don't know how long it may take. It may take me months. It may take me years. Who knows? I don't know how long it's gonna take. What I'm saying is, like, people need help. Kids and teenagers need help out here. And I, the 17-year-old as I am, I'm proud to be an advocate for mental health. I'm proud to talk about mental health. I will always talk about mental health for as long as I live. Yeah, that's just me. I really care about this situation. Mental health is so serious in this world, and it needs to. Mental health is being talked about more in this world, which I love. I love that, but I don't think the message is getting out. Yes, more people are talking about mental health and how to stay aware and this and that and that, but people, teenagers, aren't really getting it into their head. Which I feel like maybe if they listen to me, a fellow teenager, where I talk about what I went through and how I overcame these situations, maybe I could inspire and motivate them, you know, because teenagers to teenager, we get each other. Um, I noticed that, like, for me, I I talk to my friends. I have a best friend who I talk to. I talk to her about everything. It feels so much better to talk to my best friend about everything rather than talk to maybe my parents, you know? It's other resources out here. Like, if you don't want to talk to your friends, talk to a therapist. If you don't want to talk to a therapist, talk to your parents. If you don't want to talk to your parents, hey, I talk to myself sometimes, and that helps. Talking to yourself, it works. It helps. It helps me. It helps when you talk. Just talking in general, it helps you let everything out that you need to say. No matter if no one's listening to you, you're listening to yourself. It feels good to let everything out. Like, it feels good. Just like I'm talking to you guys in this video, it feels good to let out everything that I'm feeling and that I want to talk about. Because, you know, yeah, that's just that. But, yeah, mental health is important. You need to stay aware. If you want to look up the symptoms to show mental health, that show your mental illness, I do have that in the description. But you can also look that up on your own. If you want to look up anything on your own, you know, the internet is available. There are suicide hotlines, you know, if you want to call anything. There are different programs that you can go to, I'm sure, that can spread awareness. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of resources out in the world that you can use, you can go to. So don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, I struggle with that. I don't want to see other people struggle with that. We are in 2021. We need the world to get better, and we need our people to get better. So, you know, if you're seeing this right now, don't be afraid to ask for help. You know, I'm available on my social medias. You know, if you ever want to talk and want advice or anything, I'm always here. So don't be afraid. I love you guys. I really do. Truly, from my heart. This is my heart. It looks like it's on the left, but it's on the right. Wait, no, this is on the left, but it looks like it's on the right. I don't know. But from my heart, from my heart, I really deeply care about every single person in the world. No matter if I know you personally or not, I love you. I care about you. If you're going through a tough time, don't be afraid to reach out. I'm always here. If you even wanna contact my business email, you know, even if my email is for business, but if you have an emergency where you're having suicidal thoughts, or you thinking about having a suicidal attempt, you know, always email me, no matter if that's my business email or not. When it comes to life or death situation, I don't care how you need to contact me because I really care, and I need you to stay safe, and I need you to be here alive with me, you know. Like I said before, I went through suicidal attempts. I don't want to see anyone else going through it, but you know, that's life. People are going to go through it. No matter if you're a child listening to me, a teenager, or an adult, I care about all you guys. No matter if you're older, younger, I care. So thank you for this, and I will see you guys in the next video.